Hi there, and welcome to Master of Horror, where I give you the scariest, true, paranormal stories that you'll ever hear. These are 3 true, scary, paranormal stories that'll haunt you. Paranormal story number 1, The Haunted Trailer.
On Saturday night, my brother-in-law was working at a security job, and my sister and I were with my mom at a church function. These church functions lasted about 8 to 8:30, so we wouldn't get home till around 9 at night. We pulled up to our mobile home. Usually my brother would be inside waiting for us, but instead he was outside standing by himself looking like he had seen a ghost. We pulled into the carport, and I noticed that all the lights were off inside. When we got out of the car, he lifts his hands and points at the house and says, in a shaken voice, "I'm not ever going in there by myself." We asked him what happened, and this is what he told us. "I came home, and I was walking into the carport, and I was about to enter the house. I heard what sounded like a group of people talking and laughing inside the house. I heard silverware and dishes clanking loudly, thinking like there was some sort of dinner party. But all the lights were off. I thought to myself that you guys were just trying to play a prank on me or something. So I got up to the steps and I pulled out my house keys. The whole time I still hear muffled chatter and laughing and even some music. As soon as I put the house key in the doorknob, slowly, I heard someone say, 'Shh.' Then the entire house went silent, like everything just stopped. As soon as I opened the door just a little bit, I heard people running in the opposite direction of the trailer, away from me. At this point, I'm starting to think that it wasn't a prank, and some people have broken into the place, and were trying to leave before they got caught. So I ran around the back of the house to cut them off at the back door, but once I got there, everything was quiet. I thought maybe whoever was inside didn't run out because they knew I was going to go on the other side. So I sprinted back all the way around to the front door. I opened it and ran inside. It was quiet, yet it was pitch black. I turned on all the lights and cleared the entire house looking for anyone. Not one thing was out of place. Nothing to indicate at all that anyone was there. That's when I ran outside and waited for you guys to get here. My brother-in-law was never the same after that day.
True, scary, paranormal story number 2, My Doppelganger at my mom's house. I'm starting to think my elderly mother isn't losing her mind after all. I'm 58, and I've been a plumber for almost 40 years. My mom is 86, and I've been taking care of her since Dad passed away 5 years ago. She's got some health issues, but mentally she's sharp as a tack. Until recently, I thought maybe that was starting to change. About a month and a half ago, I stopped by her house after work like I usually do. I let myself in with my key and found her in the kitchen looking upset. She asked me why I had left so abruptly earlier and whether she had done something wrong to make me angry. I had no idea what she was talking about. I told her I hadn't been there earlier, that I was coming straight from my job. She got a hurt look on her face and insisted that I had stopped by around lunchtime. According to her, I had come in through the back door like I always do, sat at the kitchen table, and we actually talked about my youngest daughter's college plans. The thing is, I was installing a new water heater clear across town, far from the house, during lunch. I even had the receipts to show proof. But my mom was so convinced it happened that she started getting agitated when I tried to tell her otherwise. She said I had seemed tired and distracted, and when she offered to make me a sandwich, I had just gotten up and left without saying goodbye. That's not like me at all. Even on my worst days, I don't just walk out on my mother. I figured maybe she had been napping and had a vivid dream or something. At 86, that kind of confusion can happen.
I felt terrible thinking about it, but I started wondering that just maybe Alzheimer's or dementia or some kind of mental illness might be starting to creep up on her. But for the next month, everything seemed normal. My mom was her usual self. She remembered everything clearly. No more strange stories about conversations that we ever had. I was actually relieved and started thinking that first incident was just a tiny fluke. Then, last Tuesday, it happened again. But this time, it was worse than the first, and it really shook me up. I had spent the day working a complete bathroom renovation about an hour away. Didn't finish up till about 7 and was exhausted, covered in tile, dust, and grout. I stopped by my mom's house to check on her before heading home to clean up. When I walked in, she was sitting in her recliner, watching the news. She looked up and gave me this confused expression like she was seeing double. She asked me why I had come back and whether I had forgotten something. I told her I hadn't been there earlier, that I was just stopping by after work to check on her. She shook her head and said no. I had been there around 3 o'clock p.m. We had sat in the living room, and I had told her all about the bathroom job I was working on. She said I even shown her pictures on my phone of the tile work. Here is what made my blood run cold. I had taken pictures of that tile work. It was a custom pattern I was proud of. I wanted to show a few people, but I had taken those photos around 4 o'clock p.m. after she said this conversation happened, and I definitely hadn't been there to the house. Mom insisted that during our supposed conversation, I had seemed different somehow, more formal, she said, like I was being polite to a stranger instead of talking to my own mother. She said when she offered me coffee, I had said no thank you, instead of just declining like normal. I tried to stay calm, but inside, I was getting really worried. 2 incidences now, both involving detailed conversations that never happened. I was already mentally preparing to call her doctor. Then she got up and walked over to the little table by her chair where she keeps her important things. She picked up her phone and she wanted to show me a picture that we took together that day. I felt my stomach drop. We definitely never took a picture that day, and I was hoping to God I wasn't on that picture. She pulled up her photo gallery, and there it was, a selfie of me and her sitting on her couch. I was wearing the exact same work shirt I had on, even had the same smudge of grout on my collar. But in the photo, I looked wrong somehow. My smile was too wide. But the thing that got me the most was a timestamp. The photo was taken at 3:17 p.m. At 3:17 p.m., I was 45 minutes away, far from the house, laying tile in someone's bathroom. I asked my mom if she remembered taking the picture, and she said, of course, I'm the one that suggested it. The photo of both of us, she said, looked nice, but she mentioned that when I held the phone to take the selfie, my hands felt ice cold, even though it was warm in her house. I've been staring at that photo for days now. It's definitely my face, my clothes. Even my work van is visible through the window behind us. But I know for a fact I wasn't there. I've got text messages with my customer, time-stamped photos of my work, even a receipt from the hardware store that is time-stamped at 3:30. The worst part is that my mom looks happy in the photo. She's smiling like she's enjoying every second of it with her son. But whatever was sitting next to my mom on the couch, it wasn't me. I don't know what to think anymore. Part of me wants to believe my mom is just confused, that there's some reasonable explanation. But that photo that exists throws everything out the window. It's right there on her phone. Has anyone else experienced something like this? I'm scared to leave her alone now, but I don't know how to explain why without sounding crazy. To this day, this story has puzzled me to no end. True, scary, paranormal story number 3. The haunted nightclub in Corpus Christi.
This is a true, very scary story my dad told me, and this happened a long time ago. This story has never left my mind as it is one of the scariest things I have ever heard that took place in my father's hometown of Corpus Christi, Texas in the 1950s. My dad said that his dad, which is my grandfather, played accordion as a side job and was pretty good at it. He was outside his house one day playing the accordion around evening time when a man came by and introduced himself as John. He said he was in a band and played nightly at this nightclub in Corpus Christi nearby. He said that my grandfather played really good accordion music and it sounded really nice. He wanted to know if my grandpa wanted to come out to the nightclub the following night and that he would also get paid for it. My grandfather was really excited about the job and agreed to it right away. The man told him to make sure he's there at 2 a.m. sharp. My grandfather found it pretty strange that he had to be there at the club so late, but he didn't ask any questions. The following night, my grandfather showed up at the dance hall exactly at 2 a.m. He was dressed really nice and had his accordion strapped around him. He said that as soon as he walked into the nightclub, he felt a strange, weird feeling as if everyone was staring at him. Everyone there was dressed in suits and tuxedos, and music was playing. Everyone was drinking and having a really good time, dancing. He made his way to the side of the stage, and there he saw John, the man that invited him to come to the club. John saw my grandfather and walked up to him and asked him if he knew how to play the song that they were playing. He answered back yes, that he did know how to play that song. So my grandfather got on the stage and began to play his accordion. But he said, about after 2 minutes of playing the song, he noticed that something didn't look right with John the singer that was on the stage at the time. He looked down at John's feet while he was playing, and to his shock and horror, John had goat feet. After seeing this, his whole body went cold. He quickly looked at the other band members while they were playing and noticed that they had chicken feet. He stopped playing the accordion and looked around at the people dancing, and they all had animal feet and legs. Some people had goat feet while others had chicken and pig feet. My grandfather was petrified. He couldn't move. Just then he said the music stopped, and everyone noticed that he knew how they looked. Everyone stopped dancing, and they all stopped moving and looked at him with a straight face. When he jumped off the stage and ran towards the door, he said he could hear everyone laughing at him. He finally made it out of the dance hall and ran all the way straight home. When he got home, he told my grandmother everything that had happened to him. The following morning, he went back to the club with some friends to show them where all this took place. And to his surprise, the doors and windows were boarded up. The place looked run down and was falling apart. My grandfather was confused, but he later found out that there was a fire years prior that burned down the dance hall, taking the lives of everyone there that dreadful night.